anyone's watching, I'm a little bit early because I accidentally pressed that button actually. I thought it would like take me to a different screen, but it didn't, and that's fine. That's totally okay. I'm gonna see if I can get the chat up at the same time. I don't know how this works on here. We'll find out, I guess. I guess I'll just wait. Hey, yeah, okay, so you guys actually, you can see me. Well, that's awkward because I thought maybe you couldn't. No, that's fine. I was just watching reels on Instagram. But that's okay. Greg, are you going to join us or are you sulking today? Come here, baby. Come here. We've got the cat in here as well today, so if you hear them arguing today, please don't judge me. Ugh. Here he is. Oh, don't be cranky. What? Will you sit? Will you sit on your seat, please? Oh, God. Okay. Maybe we can just stop being dramatic. Maybe we can just stop being dramatic. Do you think? Or no, you're gonna keep doing this, huh? No, that's okay. I'm gonna sit right there. That's the choice we're making. That's fine. Forgive me. I recently, as you guys know or may know, changed over to, hang on, let me get some light on in here. I recently changed off my MacBook to like an iPad Pro, and I didn't actually think about how like, Jesus, how this was gonna go. And it turns out it's very different than it is on, oh my God, why? Why would you just step off like that? I had to catch your little foot. Oh my God, oh, this is a Greg. Oh my God, okay. It's fine, it's fine. He thinks he's the main character everywhere. And sometimes I'm like, Greg, why do you think you're the main character? And then I realize that I sit there at night and I'm like, you are the most special, handsome dog that has ever existed. And look, I think I might be the problem there. But anyway, so I'm back again this month. I'm going to try, I think, and commit to doing this once a month. Because, yeah, I don't know. It seems, I'm not really doing anything else with this channel. So maybe this is something I can do with it. I'm not really sure. But let me know what you guys might want to see from this channel, and I guess we'll go from there. Yeah, I'm going to answer some more questions today, which I'm going to have to get up on my phone because yeah. Great, I just got an email to say my channel's now live. Is that in case someone else wants to hack into this train wreck of an account? Jesus. What a sight that would be. Don't huff at me like that. Oh my God, what do you think this is? Okay, gonna get up some questions here. I am gonna be honest, let's have a little recap of my month. I haven't really been doing anything. Would you like me to clip your fur to your forehead, Greg? I haven't really been doing anything this month, if I'm being perfectly honest. Yeah, I did get Taylor Swift tickets this week though, so I mean that's a very exciting thing that's going on in my life. I'm drinking iced tea today. It's allegedly passion fruit flavor, but I don't know, it kind of just tastes like black tea. Maybe I should have put some sugar syrup in it, but I was like, no, my body's a temple. So as you can look at my oft-used exercise bike that's clearly used because it's facing the wall. Hasn't been used in many moons. I did get Taylor Swift tickets this week, which is great. I think at this point there's going to be like, deaf monks in the Amazon who are aware that I have Eras tickets. But I feel like, I'm very excited about it. I've got a very busy 8 months ahead of me, planning, etc. Got an entire outfit to plan. So, that's, it's going to be exciting. It is going to be exciting. So let's, I guess, dive in. I've got a couple of questions. Oh, Greg, dude. Man, this dog. I think he's got like separation anxiety. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm still trying to figure out, I guess, the time of day to do these things in. I did it later in the day for me, which I think worked out better for me, but a lot of people said it was like the wrong time of day for them. I don't know. I guess it's hard. I'm really jealous that jumper isn't available to ship to the US. Do they not ship to the US? That's pretty sad. It's a pretty great jumper. Let me spin. You can see, yeah, it's pretty cute. Let me know if you want me to send you one, I guess. You can send me a DM. I can pick one up for you for sure. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, I guess, like what time of day is good to do these. I don't know what time is good. Let me know if this worked for you, I guess. It's going to be really hard, I guess, being in Australia. 11, it's 11 o'clock for me right now on a Sunday. Maybe Sunday is not the right day. Maybe a Saturday would be better. I could sometimes do a Friday. But again, which would be Thursday for most of you. I don't know if that's going to be a good day. Will you stop? What are you wiggling around like that for? Oh my God. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna do my makeup. I'm gonna drink this tea, and I'll run through some questions. We have quite a few. Let me know if you have any other questions in the chat. All three of you watching this. God, someone's dropped out already. Isn't that tragic? And we'll go from there, I guess. So let's get started. Greggy. I've got quite a few. Oh my God, what in dude, you can't shuffle like this. Go up, back onto your seat or on the floor. Choice is yours. You can come back and say hi later. He's gonna say goodbye now. See ya. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Okay, right. Go and annoy the cat on the floor. If you hear noises of them messing around, I might try and drag her up later, but she's not very social. I mean, it's a huge mood, but it is a bit sad. So, I guess as well, like, let me know if you want to know what products I'm using. I guess I could run through it a bit, but it's not really the point of these videos. I think it just gives me something to do while I do this. So, I have a couple questions. So first up, would you get any more pets? I would love more pets. I would love another dog. I would love like 15 more cats. Unfortunately, I have just gotten out of the phase where Greg is like a complete lunatic. He just turned 2 in May. And I've just gotten to the point where he's not trying to destroy my life constantly. So, it's really fun for me that he's no longer ruining my things all the time. So I think for a little while I do want to keep it like that. Maybe when he's a little bit more older and can be a more responsible big brother, I'll get him a little friend, but we'll see for now. I would love more pets though. Every time I see a post that someone's got puppies or kittens that need rescuing, I'm like, ugh, maybe. Lady Supreme, it was a rescue cat. many moons ago, and now she's completely like, she's forgotten where she came from. She is not, when like stray cats come up to the window, she's fully just like, you have to leave, you can't stay here, you just can't, you can't be doing this to me. Bless her. She's uninterested in friendship. Have you gotten the Little Mermaid Lego set yet? I did get it. I haven't started putting it together yet. I've been waiting for like a weekend where I'll actually have like time to complete the entire set, because it doesn't look like from the instructions, which are really thick, by the way. They're like this thick. There's 1,808 pieces, I think, and not 1,800. Yeah, 1,808 pieces. There's 1,800 pieces. I keep like looking at it and then I just like don't do it. I keep being like, I should really do that. I need to get started on that. And then I don't, because it just like seems like such a big undertaking. And from the instructions, it doesn't really seem like, Jesus fucking Christ. It doesn't really seem like a set that has like very many natural stopping points, if you know what I mean. Like when I did that big Harry Potter card, I can put a filter on here. Let's see. No, that looks awful. Okay, no, we're gonna, sorry, I got distracted. It doesn't really seem like, how old is Sir Gregory? He just turned 2 in May. He's just a little baby. He's just a little baby boy. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like it's very easy to like start and stop with it, so I'm just gonna not for now. Yeah. And I also need to find like a table. I do not have like a dining room table, and my kitchen is not really set up because there's no real spot in my house that's like natural to put a dining room table, and also it's just me. So it feels weird to like eat my meals in a formal dining room, you know. So yeah. I don't, oh god, everything's falling out of my fridge. I don't have a dining room table, so there's not like a lot of spaces for me to like put this to set it all and like leave it if I was to like start and stop doing it. So I haven't started it yet, but I will. Okay, I'm about to do something that's really like tragic, and I want you guys to know I do have another foundation here, but it's really expensive and I know there's some left in here, so I'm about to not use the pump and tip it out because I don't want to waste this. Yeah, so please no judgment. Okay. Do Nicola's enthusiastic comments about Kate and Anthony in season 3 change your expectation at all, Ari, how much they'll be in season 3? You know, I don't think it does. I kind of have the expectation for Kate and Anthony in season 3 that we're gonna see, I think, a lot of them, but not much plot. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think they'll be present for a lot of things, but they're not really necessarily like doing anything, if that makes sense. Like, I think they're just gonna kind of be like vibing in the background, if I'm honest. And I think like that matches with what she said. I believe she said like, you know, they're really sweet together and they still have their dynamic, but they're, you know, married, and it's obvious that they're very happy with one another. And I think, you know, I'm excited to see that. I think the tricky thing giving people plots moving forward after you've had people invest so heavily in like a happily ever after scenario is that one of the only, and it's not, you know, the only way to do plots, but certainly I think within Shondaland, it's one of the only, can I get rid of that now? Okay. It's one of the only ways to like, that they introduce storylines for couples. but I don't really want any drama surrounding them. And so for me, I think at least, I'm not speaking for everyone obviously, because we all have different hopes, wants and dreams for this season. But I think that for me at least, I would rather them take a bit of a backseat and have like it just be happy than have a major plot and it's all doom and gloom. Do you know? Like, I don't want them to struggle having oh I don't know what happened there. I don't want them to like struggle. Yeah, ER had the same problem. Grey's Anatomy is the same. In like, no one can just be like a happy couple. Everyone's got to have some sort of drama. Someone's considering an affair. Like, I don't want that. I don't want, like, for example, Sienna to come back and be like, you, because this was a plot that we as Kate and Anthony fans had be like quite concerned about. Whether it was justified or not, I don't think so. That actress has said she's moved on from Bridgerton, but like, I don't want that to be like a particular thing where, you know, she comes back and everyone, there's like a, is he gonna, no, you know what, like that would make Anthony look like such a fucking dick after he like threw away his entire, he was going to throw away his entire like reputation for her, and then he's just like, you know what, I mean, maybe, like, no. And I think like I would rather them just be like happy in the background, living their lives. Like, I actually think Kate's major plot is going to be tied to Francesca and Violet this season, which is one of the reasons I'm like a little bit bummed that I don't think Phoebe Dynevor is coming back. I'm like a little bit bummed. I would love to see like a minor plot of basically like, I don't know, Kate and Daphne just being like young married women, because I think a lot of the married women we see on the show are obviously like later in their years, they're widows, and I think like it's a different type of life you have as a widow versus like a young married woman, you know, particularly like happily married women. I think we saw a few like married women in season 1 at like Lady Danbury's little gathering, but I think it's like, it's different. Yeah, I would have liked to see something happen with that, but it doesn't look like it's going to, so yeah, I don't know. I that doesn't change my expectations. I'm actually very surprised she was asked about it at all. Oh, I've lost the chat. I don't know what I'm doing. That's fine. Yes. Yeah, and I think Anna, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, sorry if I'm not, has made a good point here. Like, would love to see Kate navigating her new role as a Viscountess and introducing Francesca to society. And I think that's kind of like where it's going. I think we saw, you know, the implication of season 2, as I said in my like season 2 videos. If you guys have tortured yourself by watching those, I'm really sorry if you have, but you know, I think the implication, like Edwina explicitly states that Kate taught her how to do all of these things, and you know, the obvious implication of that is that Kate knows how to do all these things. I think it's interesting though that she didn't ever expect to have to utilize these herself. No, that wasn't what I thought it was going to be. When you do this on like desktop, I'm sure there's a way to do it on here. I should probably just have Googled that beforehand. But like, you've got the chat up on one side and then like you're in like a little screen, and I can't, the chat keeps disappearing if I'm not like quick enough. That's all right. I'll go through it at the end. But like, I think, you know, this is a position she didn't necessarily expect to find herself in. And while I think like, you know, I don't want to plot about how she's so terrible at it, etc., because I don't want this situation where it's like, oh, he could have had such a like amazing wife, and now like I'm not interested in that, and that like feeds in again into like, everything's fine. That like feeds in again, I think, to like, I want like as little drama for these stupid chickens as possible, you know, like I just want to see them living their best life. But I think it's going to be really interesting. I think her plot is going to be mostly tied to Violet, for one, like helping Kate find her footing, but also like, you know, they spoke a lot in season 2 about how like it was going to be Anthony's wife's responsibility to basically like shepherd his sisters through society now. And I think like, given this is the first instance we're going to see of this, I think like Violet's going to be taking a role in it as well and basically like guiding her, because while Kate did, you know, in a way guide Edwina through her season, it's different, you know. It's different when I think you're the person introducing someone to society rather than, you know, in Kate and Edwina's instance, it was really Lady Danbury. So I think that's mostly going to be her plot. That's not the question at all, but I have gone off on a tangent. Do you think Kate will have any meaningful interactions with any of the non-Anthony Bridgertons? Can see Violet, since Kate is taking over her role. Agree. Also see Francesca. Would love to see a follow-up conversation between her and Eloise about a single woman's place in the world now that Kate's married. I think if they let this happen organically, Kate is in a really good position to have like quite, not a prominent role in Eloise's story, but a very helpful role in Eloise's story. You know, I've spoken a couple of times about how I'm not super thrilled with the like kind of direction that they're taking Eloise in that she kind of like, I get what they're trying to do, you know, she's sort of like a more modern woman, which, just as a side note, really hilarious to me that Violet's kind of like exasperated by Eloise when like this was her when she was coming out, as we see in Queen Charlotte. Well, not coming out because she's 12 in that, but like, you know, like coming up in society when she was a young woman. It was her mum that was kind of exasperated, though I think Violet's handling it a little bit better than her mother. It'd be hard to handle at Worth, I think. I think like, you know, they're trying to make her into a you know, a modern woman stuck in a 19th century world, which is fine, except I think that like Eloise is so set, and I think this could play into this season quite well, because obviously Penelope, who yes, she's fighting with at the moment, but like Eloise, and in the book this is very clear as well, Penelope's marriage is kind of the catalyst to Eloise's in a way, because Eloise had kind of assumed that like her and Penelope would end up old maids together, which is a really unfair thing to assume of your friend, I think, but like, you know, she kind of did, because they were both unmarried at, you know, 27, and I think she just kind of made that natural leap that like it was probably not going to happen for either of them. But like, so I wish I could stop saying like, I don't know what's going on. So where was I going with that? So, but basically, like, Eloise is kind of like not disappointed in anyone that wants to get married, but she doesn't really see that side of things. And I think like Kate could stand to really help guide her through that, because obviously she was pretty set on never getting married, or not set on it, but like she had kind of assumed that it was not really on the cards for her. And I think that there's going to be a really interesting conversation, because, or there should be a really interesting conversation, whether or not they decide to portray it on screen. I think that basically, you know, Eloise, even in her book, is kind of like, well, I'm just gonna go because this man who's been writing me letters, he's nice, and like that'll be enough. That should be enough for me. Like it'll be fine. And I think there's a really interesting thing that's gonna happen, wherein which you know, Eloise is possibly, or she could kind of see that Kate's settled and Kate's really happy, you know, like I think this is leading into a really happy marriage for Kate and Anthony, which, bless them, should be. But like, I think Eloise is going to see like, well, you never wanted to get married and you're married and now you're like, you know, one of the happiest people I know. That's not nothing. And I think there's could be a really interesting conversation in Kate basically being like, you know, I didn't settle for Anthony though, and I didn't just decide to get married. Like, I got married because we fell in love and that's why we're so happy. And I think like that's an okay path too. It's okay to like have your life turn out differently than you thought it was going to be and be like satisfied and happy with that. And I think that's how Eloise's arc is going to become a lot more well-rounded, or it could happen very organically. Again, they may not, you know, I don't think anyone from the Bridgerton production is watching these videos. If you are, they're not taking me very seriously, which is, you know, like a little bit sad. But my contour is really uneven and we're all just going to pretend that that is fine. I'm not going anywhere today anyway. I'm like, look at me putting on a full face of makeup just for no reason. I'm not planning to go anywhere. I might take out my rubbish later, so perhaps the kookaburra that lives on my fence will have a very exciting view of me. Who knows? I think, yeah, that could happen really organically, and I would love to see that. Whether or not they're going to choose to take that path, I don't know. That could have also, I think, played in really nicely with like this odd sort of, because I think I don't really love the way Bridgerton portrays its like female relationships, because in the books, like Eloise and Daphne are very different, but they don't have that kind of like antagonistic relationship that they seem to want to try and push on us. And I think like, again, this could have been a really nice moment for Daphne and Eloise to have like a bit of a moment. But you know, that's not going to happen. So why do I bother? Maybe I should just like stage my own version of Bridgerton. Gregory could be Gregory. Put Lady Supreme in as, I don't know, something. She's lurking somewhere in the room, though she's disappeared from where she was, so I don't know, she'll pop up and she's watching me in the corner like, what are you doing? Who are you talking to, you lunatic? Which is valid, yeah. Finger puppets, perhaps. Yes, I could do like a Potter Puppet Pals version of Bridgerton. That would be exciting. Yeah. Do you think we'll get any indication of what Kate and Anthony's wedding and or honeymoon looked like? No. No. I don't think so. I think the show kind of sees that that's like, they see that as like, that's past and we should just like, you get what you get and you don't get upset, babe. Like that's kind of the energy they're bringing into this. They mentioned Kate and Anthony being on honeymoon in Queen Charlotte, and I think they're genuinely like, that's, you know, they went on a honeymoon, like that's enough. Enough now. Like, I don't think we're gonna see anything. She's just leapt up. She's gonna push over this ring light for sure. I just know it. Someone just said she has Lady Danbury energy. And you know what, I'm gonna grab her so you can see that that is in fact true. One moment, please. Come here. Don't cry. Don't make me look bad in front of everyone. Okay. This is Lady Supreme. She's, yeah. Yeah, she does have Lady Danbury energy. That's pretty true, I think. Her real name's Diana, and she was once a tough street cat. My chunky queen, yes. She weighs approximately 7 kilos. She weighs approximately 7 kilos. And she's just a beefy gal. When I got her, she was so skinny. Okay. When I got her, she was so skinny, you could like see her ribs. She was, like a really tiny kind of like malnourished kitten. When they picked her up, she was actually found in a dumpster in the city near where I live. And she was so scrawny, they didn't think she was gonna make it through the night. God, if only they could see her now. She's truly living her best life. She is oh my God. What was that for? What do you... A motorbike just went past the house, and so we had to balk at it. Even though he can't see it, he could just hear it. That's it. We just had to bark. What? Don't give me sass. Oh God. Yeah, they didn't think she was gonna like make it through the night. If only they could see her now. She's gargantuan, honestly. But like, I don't know. She doesn't just really eat that much. Like, I don't know. I took her to the vets a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, she's just a big cat. Yeah. Let's check the chat. I'm not doing a very good job at this. I'm sorry. Yeah. I have a question from Zara. Hey, babe. Do you think they'll go over Kate's past now? And do you think Lady Whistledown will be revealed with the Bridgertons being supportive? I have gone back and forward on this about 1 million times. I don't think they're going to reveal Lady Whistledown to the ton at large this season. Do I think they should, to like get what is one of my least favourite plots out of the way? Yes, I do. I wish that would happen. But unfortunately I don't think they're going to, because I think the way they have built the show around Lady Whistledown, I think is not perhaps my favourite thing. I agree with what has just been said in the chat, and I'm building to that. I think we are going to see the Bridgertons being supportive, and I also think that makes 0 sense at this point in the game. I think when you think about like, it just doesn't make any sense to me, like why they would be supportive, because I think, so if you haven't read the books, Lady Whistledown is a quieter character, and she doesn't really, like, the characters aren't sitting there worried about like, oh my god, I can't do this because like Lady Whistledown will talk about it. Like, they don't really, that doesn't really cross their mind. They're kind of like, sure, people will gossip about it, but it's not like specifically Lady Whistledown. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like, so I don't. But like in the show, it's very different. In the show, there's like a clear, threat of Lady Whistledown. I think the reason Daphne felt so much pressure to get married, and the reason that Anthony in turn felt pressure, and like before anyone starts on me, I am not blaming Lady Whistledown for Anthony's actions, Anthony's tomfoolery, like absolutely not. But I think like the reason that he felt so much pressure, and again in season 2, like the reason why the Queen felt so much pressure for this like Edwina situation to occur, and like then that all kind of built up into its own kind of tension, is because there's this threat of Lady Whistledown that they've kind of, and I've said before, I don't love the fact that they revealed to us as the viewer the fact that Penelope is Lady Whistledown so early in the show, because now it reads as like almost everything she does, even if it's not intended that way, has a bit of a disingenuous edge to it, if you know what I mean. And I think like the way this is all played out with like Eloise and Anthony and Daphne, and like there's just, and Marina, God, who could forget about her, like the way this is all played out, I don't think it's realistic for them to not feel any type of way about it. If you've read Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, it's like a very natural thing that happens, and Anthony like actually kind of laughs about it, and he's like, oh, I can't wait to tell Kate about it. Show Kate being like okay with Penelope being Lady Whistledown makes 0 sense to me at this point, due to her character and the way like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me that they would be like totally chill with this happening. And I think that should play out in a really interesting way, but I don't think it will. Because I think the show has kind of always suffered from pacing issues, and they're going to kind of wrap that up pretty quick. Unless they decide to do like a Lady Whistledown reveal in the middle to the Bridgerton family, and then like not from that, I don't think she'll be revealed to the Ton at large though, because they want to keep this central plot going. They've kind of put the show in the situation where Lady Whistledown and her writing is the central plot. I see, do you want to know the way I honestly see this going? And I don't like that, but the way, like, if I was writing the show at this point with this set of circumstances that they've developed, what I would do is have Eloise start writing Lady Whistledown with Penelope at the end of this season. Don't care for it, don't really want to see it, but it is how I think it's gonna go. Yeah, so in like, when does it come out? December 14th. So in 6 months when this happens, everyone like mark this section. When this happens, I would like a writing credit, Bridgerton team. Thank you. Oh, I hate that. Yeah, me too, but it is how I see it going. I don't, like I said, I don't necessarily like it, but I do think like that's probably where this is headed. Let's put a little bit of highlighter on there. Oh, she's shiny. Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, that's really shiny on my nose. No, that's fine. As I said, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, that's where I see that going. I don't care for it, but you know, it is what it is. I'm not writing it, so I have absolutely no say in it. Next couple of questions are about my writing, so I guess go for a tea break if you don't really care about that. Which AUs are you thinking of writing next? I really want to write Mile High. I know no one wants to see it. I really want to write it. I've been trying to write it since September. It's been so long. I've been trying to write it and like I just can't. Something always happens and it gets in the way. But Lavender Haze is going to wrap up in 2 weeks, which is really exciting. That's been a story that was kind of a long time in the works, and I've actually been really surprised by like how well it's been received. But I think I want the next story to either, it would be really good if I'd got my act together and I could have started the Wimbledon one like with Wimbledon, but I haven't, so like such is life. So maybe that next, but I really want to write Mile High next, so that might be our next Friday one, I think. Oh, that's so shiny. No, it's fine. It's fine. Lavender Haze is one of your best. I'll die on that hill. I'm not sure I agree, but that's that's okay. We can have different opinions. Would you consider writing any other sequels like you did for Good Girls and Bruises? I know you've mentioned a sequel to All That I Am. I would love to write a sequel to All That I Am. I think I'd love to write a sequel, to a lot of my fics. Because I think I go back and read them and I'm like, oh god, this is trash. How did anyone ever get through that? But like, as I'm sitting there typing away at my little keyboard, I'm like, oh, literary masterpiece, because I'm obsessed with myself. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. I would love to, I think, rewrite As You Should Be. Alright, babe? No. You could stand Zara to be about 35% less supportive of me. I think that would actually be good for me at this point, But I would love to write a sequel. I would actually love to write another sequel to Good Girls. I know it has a sequel, but like I would love another sequel to that. I am obsessed with those two stupid little beans, and I would love to write another sequel to that. I would love to write a sequel to, if there's one fic you'd love to see become a movie with Simone and JB, what would it be? I don't think anyone wants to hear this answer come from my lips, and there will be a lot of changes that would need to be made. I would love it to be simmering my chef AU. I would love that. I would love to see them as like rival chefs, you know, like a little white jacket situation. I'd love to see that, and just like, I would love to see that. So Simone, Johnny, if you're bored over the summer, hit up your girl. She's got a project for you. I have no funding. I can offer you pats with my dog, who's extremely out of control. He's extremely out of control. He's got no acting experience, but he would be playing Newton in this situation. Or whatever I choose to call Newton, probably Gregory, because he doesn't answer to anything else. He hasn't even answered to that. He's belly up right now. I think I would love to see them do simmering. I would love to see that. There would have to be a lot of changes made, but I think, yeah. Simone loves dogs, halfway there. I know, if we could just lure her. I don't want to say lure. That sounds sordid. If we could just, trick her, I think, yeah. Yeah, I would love that. I would think that would be great. So if they're ever bored, I can't afford their appearance fee. I couldn't even afford for them to mention my name in an interview. But I think make it a musical and Johnny would be it. That's so true. That man, can we just talk for a moment? I know we always talk about what a beautiful man he is, but like genuinely on the inside as well seems like such a sweetheart. I think he's a very sweet man, and he's restored my faith in humanity a little bit. I just think he's a sweetheart, and I can't wait to see him as Fiyero. Like, that casting is just like explosion. Me too. I'm so stupid excited for Wicked. I love Wicked. So me and my assistant, Steph, she's never going to watch this, but like sometimes what we do is have like a musical theatre day. So my work schedule, we essentially work for 11 hours a day. We see about 25 patients. We've got an hour lunch break. We're just going. So we're very busy. So we sometimes, like, we do themed days with the Spotify. In my room particularly, they won't allow me access to the speakers for the entire practice, I think because we'd get a lot of complaints. But in my day particularly, we do like theme days, like Thursdays. What we try to do is listen to Taylor Swift's discography from like the beginning, like Tim McGraw, to like the end. And it's an experience. After every album, you, the assistant and the patient, if they want to join in, they usually look at me as though I'm insane when I'm like, and ask this question. But the question is like, after each album, you have to count down your top 3 from that album in this particular week. So like, for the Red album, mine never changes. And for a lot of albums, mine doesn't. But sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm really feeling that this week, you know? No one can relate to that. That's a bit of lunacy I've just admitted to. But like, so sometimes we listen to musical theatre, and usually we start with Wicked. We're so lucky. She used to be an actress before becoming a dental assistant. Not like a big time actress, but like she was an actress. She trained in musical theatre. Fun fact, she turned to me one day and said, you know, I went to high school with Taylor Swift. And I was like, why would I assume that? Like, why would I be sitting here like, yes, all Americans know one another? I knew she was from Pennsylvania, but at the same time, like, I'm from the same state as Margot Robbie. We didn't go to high school together, you know? Like, before anyone asks, no, I've never met her, but everyone says she's a genuine delight. I did once vote for her to win a Logie, which she lost to Bindi Irwin. So, you know, a tragedy. I'm sure she thinks a lot about that lost Logie. I'd love to see a mythology AU at some point. You know, if you look on my Tumblr, there is one post, and I would love to get back this actually, eventually I'll get back to the question you asked me, but this ties into one of them. I would love to expand on that. I wrote an AU where Anthony was Hades and Kate was Persephone. There's like one The Thor AU. Sarah, babe, I'm never getting back to that. You know that. It was a disaster. It was thorny. There is a Kate and Anthony, Hades and Persephone AU on my blog. I'll post a link to it. I'll like reblog it later if you're looking for it. I would love to get back to that. It was a really sweet idea. But where was I going with this? Musical theatre. We're very excited about Jonathan Bailey. It's like perfect casting. Like, what a sweet little, just huge sweetheart energy, and I think that's what we need. We need more of that in today's society. But anyway, let's move on to some more actual questions rather than me just ranting about how, and you know what the thing is, I'm not like, okay, I'm gonna say this and then I'll tell you the story and I don't think you'll laugh, but you'll be like, Molly, what are you talking about? So I have been saying for a very long time, like, I'm not an Ariana Grande fan. I do listen to a lot of her music. I have been called out the last 2 years in a row by Spotify making her my number 2 artist. Like, we need to discuss this, Spotify. I just want to talk. I just want to talk to the person in charge. There's no need to call me out like this. There just isn't. Obviously Taylor Swift is my number 1 artist, and last year I was in the top like 0.05% of her listeners. Like, they looked at me and they were like, the top 1% is not enough. Like, we need an extra subcategory for the way this girl is out there listening to Taylor Swift. It's commitment and it's dedication. The best, so I like Dangerous Woman, Side to Side and Bang Bang. The best Ariana Grande song, it's Break Your Heart Right Back from the My Everything album. Childish Gambino, go, do yourself a favour. Let's get back to some more actual questions. And again, I've just been like, I'm not an Ariana Grande fan, and here I am, like, you know, off her My Everything album. Like, that's a deep track. No one knows that. It was not a single. Like, okay. I've got some questions here. We should go through those. And eventually I'll finish my makeup. Eventually I will pencil in my eyebrows. They won't look like this forever. I've been holding this threateningly for such a long time. Tia the Tom question, how's the book binding going? I haven't started it yet. My book binding kit, so if you guys don't know, oh God, we've lost another watcher. They're dropping like flies. I don't blame you. So I have decided to start book binding as a hobby. I'm very excited about this. So I've got a book binding kit where you like actually get to like make the sections. And that's just arrived, so I'm gonna get started on hopefully making some journals soon. It might be next weekend. I'm gonna have like a bit more free time. So I'm gonna start bookbinding, but I also want to like rebind some back books that I have. If you're not Australian, this may come as a bit of a shock to you, but like very few books in Australia get released as hardback books. We don't really do hardback books. We are almost exclusively a paperback book. If it's a society, if it's a hardback book, it is generally like a special edition. Or it's like the Harry Potter books were only hardback for a little while and then the paperback came out. Or usually they'll come out like at the same time for us. I was really surprised a couple of weeks ago. I said I saw this post Taylor Jenkins Reid had put up, like, oh, Carrie Soto is back now available in paperback, and I was like, I have the paperback. Like, it was like, as of today, it's available in paperback, and I was like looking at my paperback copy like, we're almost exclusively a paperback society in Australia. And they're all like, I don't know, $9, like, we're not. Yeah. So I am going to start rebinding some of my paperbacks as hardbacks, and I'm very excited about this because I've managed to convince my sister, I don't want anyone to start on like, oh, Molly, she's pregnant, that was really mean. She wants this too. I've got her to split a cricket machine with me. I'm very excited about this, guys. Like, the things I can now cut out the t-shirts I can make. Oh, making my entire outfit for this Eras concert. I'm even bedazzling a pair of shoes, so like check in on my Instagram, my like personal Instagram, if you want to catch up on that. Oh, what an exciting time this is going to be. I bought some gems. They're going to be all too well themed. Oh, I'm going to put fuck the patriarchy on the back. Like, I'm so curious to see what craftiness you get up to. Oh, it will be terribly done. Like, I'm not gonna big note myself here. I just, you know what, this joke you've made, like, she's pregnant, don't let her buy a Cricut. I managed to convince her, and it was like low of me, and I knew this as it was happening. But I was like, think of the onesies we could make. It was evil. I shouldn't have done it, but I really wanted the Cricut. I hope she doesn't watch this. I think she knows I like kind of talked her into it a little bit. She's fine with it. She's cool with it. She's fine. We have a great relationship. We're very close, but we do need to work out like a custody arrangement for this Cricut. Like we can meet in a McDonald's car park and trade it. That reference may not like. God, that eyebrow looks bad. Not as bad as this one looks. That reference I'm not sure will qualify. A lot of people when they have like custody and they're not allowed to like, you know, in Australia, and they're not allowed to like really see one another, like they're only allowed to for the kids' sake. Like custody changeovers happen in like a McDonald's car park. I don't know if that's everywhere or like on the side of the road. I often see them on like a Friday afternoon. So I work like 25 minutes away, and it's like the next town over from this one. I live in a very small town, yada yada, we've been over this. So I live in a very small town, and the next town over, like there's a lot of like transfer between the two. And like I will often see people just like on the side of the road, and the kid like gets out of the car on like a Friday afternoon. Wild. But anyway, you know, they're doing what works for them, and good for them. Yes, Hannah, my sister, and I will trade off. She's having a baby. Yeah, we're excited. We'll trade off weekends. I actually got the baby's Christmas present the other day. If anyone wants to see it, let me grab it down. I know you're thinking, Molly, it's July. The baby even hasn't been born yet. But so toy sale in Australia starts in like July, and that's like the first day you can like lay by. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna spend $40 more on it come Christmas time. Like, we've got bills to pay. The bills of the cricket machine. Like, I've got vinyl to buy, guys. I've got Taylor Swift VIP tickets to buy. Like, I've got floor seats I need. And this is what I got my sister's child. It's a big Bulbasaur. He's very cute. Is lay-by like layaway? I don't know. Is that like you technically buy it and you make payments and it sits in the store, and then once you've paid it off you pick it up? If for those of you who don't know, I have a Bulbasaur tattoo. I got it a couple weeks ago, and I think this guy's, when I saw him, I was like, he's pretty neat. It's gonna be enormous, and I was like, well, what do you buy a 2-month-old for Christmas? Like, I don't know. So I've got this Bulbasaur. Greg's eyeing it off, so I better, oh my god, no, it fell down. No, Greg, no. Oh my god. It's not one of your toys, buddy. I'll get you one if you want, but like. Okay, so anyway, that's called buying on layaway in North America. Okay, neat. Well, yes. Then lay-by is like layaway. I got my 3rd bee tattoo yesterday, and Anthony Bridgerton is yet to touch my bosom. You know what? I got mine a year ago, and he's yet to do anything for me. Ridiculous. Let's move on to the next question, I guess. What are your favourite Anthony and Kate versions that you've ever written? I think I like Bruce's Anthony and Bridgerton Sons Kate the most. That's them, not my choices. And what's your favourite sentence paragraph you've ever written? Oh, I forgot the second question. Okay, I'll go back to the... Okay, I don't think I have like a favourite version of Kate and Anthony, like from my... Also, someone in the chat just assumed I was having a nephew because it's a Bulbasaur. I don't know. I don't know. I know what the gender is, but I'm not allowed to like tell anyone. So yeah. So I don't think I have a favourite Kate and Anthony that I've written. That's like picking a favourite child, I think. It's too hard for me to do, honestly. Yeah, I don't think I can pick. I don't think I can pick. So yeah, I don't think I can pick a favourite. I am very attached. I said earlier, I love like Good Girls, Kate and Anthony. Hotter Than the Sun, those two together. Whomst? I've missed something on the chat. Let me go back. Whomst are we discussing, ladies? That I shouldn't say ladies. Any sorts of genders. Lavender Haze, Kate, and Deep Breath, Anthony. Oh, okay. I see that. I want that crossover. Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, they would be cute together, I guess. That's a lot of like... I feel like those two together... so, Take a Deep Breath I have not written. It's like exclusively on my blog, but it is like on my chat for coming up. That's a lot of ego. I feel like those two, Kate and Anthony's, have a lot of like ego that they would have to work out. Oh, nah. Okay, no, that's fine. We'll use a different brush. I feel like they... Oh my god, not that one. Jesus. I feel like they've got a lot of like ego between them. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think that would be like... There would be a lot of sexual tension, that's for sure. But I also think like... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that they'd necessarily be the right fit. So I don't think I have a favourite. I'm obsessed with Good Girls, Kate and Anthony. They've been favourites of mine for a really long time. But I do have like a really special place in my heart for Bridgerton and Sons, Kate and Anthony. Picking a favourite of my A's is like picking a favourite child. I love all of them in very different ways. I think though that Bridgerton and Sons, Kate and Anthony are the closest I've written to like a book Kate and Anthony. They have, because obviously we didn't know, I think, and I started writing it prior even to Simone Ashley's casting. So there's a lot I think that she brought to the role that isn't necessarily present in I Have a Favourite Child. See, I knew that parents have favourite children, and my parents are always like, no, we don't have a favourite child. Lies. So I think that's like, we did, you know, when I started writing that, I didn't necessarily know all that she would bring to the role, and I didn't know the changes that they were going to make to the character. I think realistically, I think my Kate, particularly Kate that I write and my Anthony, they're I think that I now honestly have made my own versions of Kate and Anthony. I've picked my characterizations and I'm sticking to them. Much like with like my versions of Mary and Edwina, like I've got my characterizations. I'm not really looking to change that up, and nor would I pick the awful ones from the television show. No. So I think I've kind of made my own characterizations, but that's also kind of like the fun of making a new AU for me, is kind of like figuring out, because everyone has different life experiences that kind of, and I hate usually talking about this because it makes me sound like a bit stupid, as if I think my writing's like actually good or important. But I think one of my favorite things about writing AUs is that like the different positions that we put these characters in, that changes part of their character, you know, like their life experiences, this all leads up to who you are as a person. And I think like you can't necessarily take Kate as she's written in The Viscount Who Loved Me and transplant her completely to a modern world and like not have anything change, because that's not true, you know, like the entire way I think we as women look at relationships and our relationships with other women but also with men is, or a romantic partner, is so different than it was in the 1800s, you know, like we're approaching this on a much more level playing field now, that like that just wasn't around for them. And I think like you can't write a modern version of a period drama and not like have anything change. That just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. By the way, if you follow my Instagram, or the Tea and the Ton Instagram, I chose this one, the Bridgerton 1 Pat McGrath palette, and it's my favourite of the two. The Bridgerton 2 palette is like, if you've never seen them, it's like kind of boring. I like this green, as you can see which ones I like and which ones I don't. I like this green, but it doesn't show up very well on my skin tone, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm a bit too pale for it, I think. What did I want? This one. But yeah, and that's like one of my favorite things for me, is like figuring out how this character's gonna change. Because of the new situation, you know, like because of their experiences and what's different. I'm now going to put this on. Very exciting. This is Pat McGrath's Mothership, which one? Mothership 9, Utopian Dream. Favorite of mine. So I think, yeah, like that's one of my favorite things about it, but I don't think I can like pick a favorite version of them that I've done. I think it's, yeah, God, I thought this was again going to be like a 30-minute thing. We're approaching an hour and I like haven't gone through all of the questions that I've got yet. Oh, so this is going back to the like question I answered before. I didn't, about my book binding. I like didn't answer the second part, which is which fic of yours would you like to print and bind the most? I would love to do all of them, honestly, and that's one of the things that I'm probably like working up towards, is being able to bind like some of my fics into books. I think that would be really exciting. I would also have to get a printer. I don't know. I would love to do, I think, Bruises, but again, I do want to do like a version of Bruises that's like an actual book. That is coming soon when I have some time. But yeah, I think, you know which one I actually really love to bind, and it's honestly because it surprised me the most out of all of the fics I wrote. This is one of the things I thought like probably no one was going to be interested in, and I just kind of wrote it as for fun because I had the idea. But I would love to bind Offside. I loved writing that. I think it was just like a really, much like when I wrote Bruises, it was like a very interesting time in my life, and I would just like, I would love to have a lot of glitter going on these eyes for someone that's not leaving the house. Maybe this will be my Eras tour look, who knows? I just got an internship in publishing doing ebooks and typesetting. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations, that's an amazing job. I wish I had a cool job. Dentistry is like, it's just not a cool job, you know, like when people are like, oh, what do you do for work? And I'm like, I'm a dentist. Everyone's like, the fuck? And you know what, honestly, sometimes I too am like, the fuck? But the way the Australian education system works is I chose to become a dentist when I was 17 years old. Seemed like a really good idea at the time. It doesn't always now, but here we are, you know, living my best life. Yeah. So I would love to bind my fics. I'd love to do that. I have to figure out how to create like covers for them and stuff first. So there's going to be a lot of practicing with my book binding, and I'll keep you guys abreast of the situation, I suppose. I'm going to try my new eyeliner today. I cannot settle on like a black liquid eyeliner that I love. It's like a staple, right, in makeup, and I can't settle on one that I like really like. I have this Charlotte Tilbury one at the moment. Charlotte Tilbury, the Feline Flick, and it's okay. But it's also not waterproof, which kind of bothers me because like where I live, there's a lot of humidity. Like even in winter, it can be quite a humid climate. And it runs a lot. Like usually by about 11 o'clock, if I'm at work, I've got like darkness under here and I'm not loving it. So I've got this Dior one to try. Dior Show On Stage Liner. It's a waterproof one. We'll see. I've not even taken it out of the box yet. Shake well before use. Let's find out together. Yeah. Any more questions? Yes. Tea in the Tom. What's the best thing to keep in mind about Kate's and Anthony's steaminess? What makes them hot? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think, you know, one of my favorite things, and I love writing this into my fics. I don't know if I do it very well. I love writing into my fics, but I think they're both like at heart. I think I said this last time as well, but they're both like natural caregivers, and I love like I think the way they like, and like ridiculous, but I think the way they like care for one another is very attractive in a way. The way they like take care with one another, that's nice, you know, like it's sweet. God, sorry, I just need to concentrate for a second. Yeah, I think that's very cute, and I love writing that into my fics. Also, I think, don't we just love imagining Anthony getting his kid off? Don't we just love seeing that? I know I do. That also does like bring me to something like, and I didn't answer this question earlier in the week, but it was basically yet again, and I'm getting kind of tired of having this conversation, I think, but like, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't answer it, because I don't think I have anything to add, and I know like I have a lot of new followers that didn't like necessarily see my exact like post season 2 like debriefs, so it's not necessarily that person's fault, but like I'm getting a little bit like tired of like, and it's perfectly valid to feel this way, I'm not saying it's not, but like for me at least, I'm a little bit tired of like having the conversation of like, why were there so few sex scenes in season 2? And I kind of think it's because like genuinely it didn't lend itself to the story that they were telling, you know, like I think if we'd seen them in that situation a lot earlier, I don't think it would have lended itself as well to the like story that they were trying to tell. And I don't think there would have been the same like emotional connection to it as that scene did have. I kind of like that they're two people that, particularly as well because their characters, both of them can be quite rash in what they do, and I think the fact that like, did this happen in a very hurried way? Yes, but it also like built and built and built. They're both people that like they're both people that can act very quickly on things when they want to, you know, and I think as well, particularly for Anthony, like he has had relationships in the past where he's like jumped right into bed, and I think it shows that like this is different for them, you know. That's an okay eyeliner. I guess we'll see how it wears through the day. Let me make it a little bit longer just to see. Okay, cute. I think that, oh, now I've sucked it up. Right, it's fine. Yeah, I think it's just like the story they wanted to tell didn't really lend itself to it, and I'm getting kind of like, I don't know, I don't think we need to like compare storylines. They're very, as well, because like that and the intimacy in season 1 was very like important to the plot, you know, like that was very important to the plot. It wasn't really important to the plot in season 2, you know, like we didn't need to see it, but like we also needed to see like why, because they'd committed to telling that story. We needed to see why there was this confusion for Daphne. I'm not saying they did it well, don't come for me, but like we needed to see why there was confusion. We didn't need it. Neither of them were confused about what they were doing in season 2. They knew exactly what was going on. Like I think, you know, like yeah. We knew they knew what they were doing, we knew what we were doing. There wasn't like the same naivety around it. And so I think like it was important to the plot that we saw that in season 1. It wasn't important in season 2. And I'm kind of like, I'm not really watching it for that. Like, cool if you are, but I'm watching it for the plot, I guess. So it doesn't, you know, yeah. Stop. What are you? Someone's like kicked off a lawnmower and he's like, oh, how dare you. Which original character do you love to revisit? I think we all know which original character I love to revisit. Have I written a story where Edwina is not with like Josie or Matt Bagwell? No. To the point where like a lot of people are under the assumption that his like canon name is Matthew. I made that up completely. He just seems like a Matthew, you know? I completely made that up. That's not true, you know? Like, glad that I've like made my little mark on the fandom though. Yeah. Gregory, my word. My word, honestly. I really like, someone again sent me a message like a little while ago, and I like filter a lot of my asks out. I probably get like, 20 to 30 asks a day. And I filter a lot of them out that I'm just like, I do read all of them. And like I said last time, like I want to respond to all of them. I just like don't quite have the time. And it was basically like, am I writing Edwina as like in a relationship with a woman because it's trendy at the moment? I didn't know that was a trend that was happening. I just think sometimes like, why not? Like, why couldn't she? I think, yeah, I don't know. Some people, man, just like, but no, I just kind of pick which like Edwina feels right, I guess, and yeah. Sometimes it's Matt, sometimes it's Josie. You have 99 fics posted on AO3. Is that true? Wow, okay. You guys are paying closer attention to that than I am. Anything special planned for 100? No. I guess it's probably going to be the next like fic I start, which will be Mile High. So I guess that's special in a way because I've been trying to write it for so long. I also don't really think it's truly 99 because, to my opinion, the first 2 fics I posted on there are Dawson's Creek ones, and I don't want them to count. No one go and look them up. I don't want them to count because I don't think they're well written, and I think at least the first 15 Bridgerton and Sons fics shouldn't count because, again, they're not well written. I hate rereading those fics. I hate them. No, I don't hate. I don't hate the fics. That's not fair. I hate the way they're written. I think it was a good story. I just executed it poorly because I hadn't practiced writing in a really long time. So, yeah. So that's all the questions I have on my thing. Does anyone have any other questions before we leave? I haven't even finished my makeup, nor is my tea finished, but let me go through the chat and make sure I haven't let me put on some of this first. And then I'll go through the chat. Yeah, I don't really have anything special planned. I don't think I do anything, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't think I deserve as much credit as you guys like put on me with like, oh, she planned this. She didn't. She's a clown. She doesn't have a creative process. Nothing's planned. Nothing's thought through. We're just out there typing away because I've got nothing better to do in my life that weekend, you know? Like, slow weekend. Maybe there was no Grand Prix on that weekend, so she's like, there is one on today. We need to talk about this sprint race, guys. If you guys are watching Formula One right now, please hit me up afterwards. I really have thoughts to discuss. Thoughts, feelings, and opinions, but that's fine. Not a great day for, well, a great day for one, Ferrari. Gregory, stop sniffing my leg. So, yeah, I don't plan half the things that you guys give me credit for. I don't. I'm not really out there planning anything. I get an ask and I'm like, oh, cool. And then I just make something up about that. That's pretty much how it works. Sorry if I've pulled back the curtain too far and ruined the illusion for you, but yeah. Pretty much how it goes. I don't have anything really special planned for 100. I wish I could say that I did, but I don't. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll think of something. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, let's go back through the chat. Let me move this mirror so I can actually like get to my. The colours and vibes are all giving romance energy. Colours and vibes of what? Of my makeup? I guess. It's just this Bridgerton one palette, and I used the colours. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I used my two favourite colours, which are Art of the Swoon, which is this pink one here. These originally all had bees on them, and they were really cute. You can kind of see the bee here. Actually, they're really cute palettes, actually. I do love Pat McGrath. Probably, like, she should be paying me, honestly, for the amount of promo I do. They have, like, little bees on them. They're really cute. Art of the Swoon is made one of my favourite ones. I just think it's very, like, sweet, soft, like, Taylor Swift lover energy. And Regency Blue. And then I used, what is this one called? What is this purple? I used, like, 4 different colours of eyeshadow today. And did not blend them very well. Oh, no, I've got to open the whole thing. Okay, no, it's fine. We're fine. We're thriving. So I used... That can't be the right colour. I used Astral Amethyst Moon, which is this one here. And then I used this one, which is Astral... I think I'm about to pronounce this word correctly. Astral Venusian Orchid. Venusian is spelled, if anyone's curious. Venusian. Don't know if that's I'm pronouncing that correctly. I was really hoping. Yeah, okay. Pat McGrath eyeshadows always have really interesting names. The one next to this purple colour, that's kind of like holographic one. She does a lot of these, like, oh, stunning. It's called Blitz Sex Dream. So, you know, there's that going on. Yeah, I used like 4 different shades today. It turned out pretty cute, I think. It's like not really popping on camera, I don't think, but it looks like really cute in person. I'm like, okay. My contour came out pretty nicely, so that's always good. I'm still sticking. I know I complained last time about these Hollywood contour ones. I am sticking with them just because it is the nicest like contour, and I have one that I haven't even opened yet because I thought this one would run out. Like I thought it would run out, and then like let me put my glasses on so I can read the chat. Okay, now I'm gonna look weird because I've got the, maybe I could turn that off or down, or let's see. No, it's the same. Okay, maybe we'll just turn it off. So let's go through the chat, hey, in case I missed anything. Cute. Can confirm it looks very lovely on camera as well. Thank you, bless. Okay, let's go back through. See if can I request that for Spicy Sunday? What are we requesting? Let me go back further. Maybe I should read the whole stream. Okay. Yeah, I do think one of these messages here. I do think they are gonna, no, come back. Chat, come back. Oh, I don't really love doing this on iPad. This is the first thing I've like, since I've changed over to my iPad Pro, that I'm like, oh, hate this. Yeah, I do think they're gonna like kind of drag out the lady whistle down situation. It's just, yeah, how it is. I don't think there's any questions in here that I didn't get to. Oh, Fitra's doing a news story about Kate as a bookbinderess. I didn't know that was a word, binder. I love that though. That's cute. Can't wait to see that.